So basically, as I said, friend, we have probably two controller boards where we are playing around. One is already Arduino, and the second one is the Raspberry Pi board. What are the agendas for the today's session is I will introduce you to the Raspberry Pi board, and we'll try to have a small demo on the Raspberry Pi board, maybe let's say LED blinking program, and we'll show you how you can play around with the Raspberry Pi board. Right, so that is today's agenda. I'm going to introduce you to the board, right, and how much it costs, what are the technical features available. Do you think that this could be a replacement of a desktop machine, right, like those things. And let's say what is the basic difference between the Arduino board and the Raspberry Pi board, and the Raspberry Pi board and the kind of laptop or the desktop machine that you're using. Probably you may have an answer to all these questions at the end of the session, right? So let me deep dive into this, right? So this is the content that we have. Basically, University of Cambridge Computer Laboratory, they have started working on this, and it was developed in the UK by Raspberry Pi Foundation in 2009. Right, so we are discussing something which is 12 years old, but still it is in the very demand nowadays. Right, this is the person who has initiated the project. Right, so this is the history of that, and it runs the Linux. Even you can run the Microsoft Flavor operating system, but you need an extra software, and still it will not give you the performance as good as the native performance. I will talk about that. What are the capabilities? You can do programming, so even you can write a report, even you can do some kind of programming, and with the latest model even you can play a game, right? You can do electronics projects, you can prepare the documents, even you can play the HD videos also, right? So these are the capabilities. What are the key components, right? So you have a board, you have an operating system on the SD card. Very exciting feature. I hope you are with me. It has an operating system with a SD card. Please understand, right? When I say SD card, that means you can move with your hard disk in your pocket. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So when students have worked on the Raspberry Pi board, generally what they will do is you can configure Raspbian OS onto your own memory card, and whenever we will provide you a board, actually you can plug in your card and you can play around with your OS and everything. So that's as simple as that, right? You need to have a keyboard and you need to have a display, right? Basically, generally it has an HDMI port, so you need an HDMI supported display. If you don't have, you need a converter. So HDMI to VGA or something like that, that will make it sufficient. And there is another way also. For example, let's say if you don't have a keyboard and you don't have the display, what I can do is I can put a Raspberry Pi board in the same network as I am, and I can access it remotely. I am going to show it to you today only, right? How you can play around. So in that case, what will happen? My machine screen will serve as the the display, and my what I can say, my keyboard of the laptop or my desktop machine will work as a keyboard for the Raspberry Pi board. So it is like working on a remote machine, but what you are connecting is only the CPU, right? So you can have a mouse, you can have an connectivity options like, for example, you can have a LAN cable, right? And even it supports the Wi-Fi as well as the Bluetooth. So once you do configuration, you don't require to do, connect the cable also. And that's how I'm using it here in my room, right? So what are the programming languages? Raspberry Pi Foundation recommends Python. Any language which will compile for ARM v6 can be used, installed by default on Raspberry Pi board. So when you install an operating system, these are the default operating systems you will get into, right? So the Raspberry Pi is the work of the Raspberry Pi Foundation, right? This is what has been started in 2009 in the UK. What is the motivation for developing computer science skills, especially in kids? This is very important, but we are a bit late to introduce to you, but maybe in the school nowadays, there is a concept of Tinker Lab. So students are learning all these devices from 7th or standard or something like that through a Tinker Lab. So probably in the future generation, we don't have this course as it is in the syllabus, right? But you've been not introduced, so that is the reason we are introducing you the Raspberry Pi board in the college level, right? This is quite things. I think the very simple things that you already know, right? And this is important. Fun computer for children to experiment with at home, programming, robotics, etc. Right? So there are so many exciting applications I will tell you. And this is a photograph. You can see how they are using it in the primary education. Although they cannot understand all the concepts very well, but just to give them an idea, just to create an interest, it's a sufficient, right? So these are the few basic things about the ADD over here. So the latest one is the Raspberry Pi board 4. Actually, that is the latest one, right? And you can check out the post on the Google or Amazon, and it's about the age of it, right? And so think of it, rather than buying the laptop, initially you will consider, and let's say you are looking for a machine. Probably what you can do is you have television, right? And so your Raspberry can work as a CPU. It can work as a CPU. Your TV screen will become a screen. What you need is the mouse and the keyboard. If you buy these things, probably you are giving a machine to your brother or sister, right? And probably if you go for Raspberry Pi 3, it may cost you around 2,800, right? It depends how you negotiate and on the which day you buy, right? And if you go for Raspberry Pi 4, it will be somewhere in the range of 5K to 7K. Again, the rate keep varying, but there are many options, right? There are many options. So this is how. The capability is high, but even I recommend Raspberry Pi 3 can also work as a simple computer. There is no need to go for Raspberry Pi 4, right? So this is just a suggestion. These are the comparison you can think of. This is the history. You can see RAM started from 256 MB, 512, 512, 1 GB, 1 GB. Right, and these are the USB port that you have, and then you have an HDMI, right? And each board, starting from here, you had only 26 pins, but nowadays this board have a 40 pins, right? Now this 40 pins where you can connect the different electronics components. So basically, what I'm trying to say is how your machine, let's say your personal computer, differentiate from this Raspberry Pi board. It is here, right? You don't have a pin in the personal computer or laptop. Similarly, compared to Arduino board, actually Arduino board was just a controller. That Arduino board does not have a capability to get connected with the network. If you want to get connected with the network, you need an extra Ethernet shield, right? Even some Arduino board does not support the Bluetooth or something like that. So for few applications, it would be good. But if you are looking for a similar to what we have as a machine, probably this is a good choice, right? Starting from processing power and playing a high video, even you can play a game also on the Raspberry Pi board, right? So you can see here, Pi board already support 802.11. It already supports the Bluetooth. So you have all the connectivity options, right? So directly you can put it on the internet, right? And it has a small adapter, like how the way I can use the mobile adapter also to give it a power, right? So it's a complete computer. I hope you are very much clear about that part now. Let me go ahead now. I already said that it is a memory, right? And your operating system lies on that memory only, right? So that's what it does not include a built-in hard disk, right? But using an SD card for putting in long-term storage. This is the RAM. This is the RAM, and the latest version support 8 GB, right? All the files necessary for bootings are installed in FAT32 partition of the SD card. The Raspberry Pi has to have an SD card installed to boot from. but a USB HD can take over after the initial boot. You cannot boot without an SD card, right? Your Raspberry Pi board cannot be boot without an SD card. So this is what the things that you need to know. These are the different compartment or the different units of USB, right? So let me start from one. You can insert the SD card here. The way you insert the SD card in the mobile device, you can insert the SD card over here, right? Then probably you have a connectivity display, so you have an HDMI option. If your television does not support the HDMI, as I said, you need something called converter, right? Those converters are available in the market very easily, so there is no problem in that, right? If not using HDMI, plug in your analog TV or display. So that option is analog, but that option probably is not available in your TV, right? So better is you need to look into that. Then the third option is connect input plug-in USB keyboard and mouse. So that is where USB interface will come into the picture, right? You have an Ethernet support, so you can do a wired connectivity. If it is Raspberry Pi 3, it has a Wi-Fi also, so it could be connected to the internet via Wi-Fi also, right? As I said, this is a 5-volt micro USB connector, right? Similar to the one a lot of mobile phones have, so there is no need to worry. We can use the same adapter that we have. This is an HDMI audio video, right? RCA video, as I say, if it is supported by your television, it could be useful. Headphone socket is also given here, right? USB port, that different, how many USB ports, like 2 or 4, that vary from model to model, that you can see in the comparison slide. And this is what is important. I said, friends, earlier model have only the 26 pins, but as the latest model have, all latest models have 40 pins. This is very, very important, where we can connect the different devices, right? And those pins are called actually GPIO. Please remember this. This is called GPIO, right? General purpose input and output. General purpose input and output. That means these 40 pins can be configured as an input pin, or it could be configured as an output pin. You understand better when to configure as an input pin or where to configure as an output pin. So for example, if I'm connecting some sensor on some of the pins, I need to configure that pin as an input pin so that the sensor data come to my board. If I'm trying to connect some kind of actuator on my GPIO pins, I have to configure that specific pin number to the output mode so that the data can go from my Raspberry Pi board to those actuators, right? So that we also understood when we discussed about the Arduino. Now let's talk about the chip. Right, so basically you have something called BCM2835 700 megahertz. So that is the system on a chip available, right? You have a LAN controller, you have a camera interface also. So directly we connect the camera also, right? So that's a really a cool feature where you can have some exciting application, right? And for storage, I will say you have a SD card slot, right? And so this is I have already explained, these are the 40 pins. I hope this is a quite good diagram you can see. So whenever we are keeping the Raspberry Pi board in our hand, we ensure that this part is at top. I mean, when we keep it in our hand, right, it is a palm size machine, right? So if you keep this part in at top, this part, right, and this part at the bottom, you can see you have two columns of a pin. One is this inside column, right? One is this inside column where you have 20 pins, and the another one is this outside column where you have a 20 pins. So total it will make the 40 pins. I hope I'm making it very clear, right? So you have to, you may have a question whether I keep this part as top or this part as a top. I'm saying that you have to keep this part as a top. So this is the top, right? And so whatever this side, I hope you are able to read it, right? So this is how you have 40 pins. And this is how, I think it's a quite clear picture. And this is the Raspberry Pi 2 model B, right? Where you have, as I said, it has a 4 USB ports, Ethernet port is there, right? Audio jack you can see very clearly, right? HDMI port you can see, and these are the 40 pins, friends. And this is, I said, we have to keep it at top, right? And so, and it has a 1 GB of RAM, right? So this is what the Pi 2 model B. This is Pi 3. So in the laboratory, when you really come to the institute, probably in few days we are calling you, right, with some guidelines. So you just wait, you will be getting some guideline. Raspberry Pi 2 model B we also have in the lab, and we also have a Raspberry Pi 3, right? So both the models available in the laboratory. So right, we have a Pi 2, and the difference I already said on that previous slide, right? This is Raspberry Pi 3 model B detailed configuration. Again, it has the same, right? And you can see it has a 10 cross 100 LAN port. It has a 4 cross 2 USB ports, right? And a camera port is there, full size HDMI video output, right? A micro USB power inputs, where I say our mobile, typical our mobile phone charger will work here to give a power supply, right? So this is how you can power on your Raspberry. So this is very important slide, and each one of us need to understand what this slide is trying to explain. Now, as I said, friends, we have a total 40 pins like this, and you can see this part is at the top. So as I said, this side I call the inner side, and this side I will call the outer side. So this is basically an outer side, right? So this is an outer side, and this is the inside, right? This is the inside part. Now, if you look at these two parts, so here, what this number are represented like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, up to 39, that represents your inside. So in this block, this part is inside and this part is outside. So this column is your inside and this column is your outside, right? This column is your outside, this column is your inside. Is it clear to everyone? So for example, if I ask you a question, this pin, first pin of this outside is what number? What is the number of this pin? This is actually pin number 2. Right? The next one is the pin number 4. The next one is the pin number 6. The next one is the pin number 8. Like this. This is how you have to go. This is your outside, and this is pin number 1. This is pin number 3. This is pin number 5. This is pin number 7. Pin number 9. Pin number 11. I hope you are able to understand. Yes? Okay. Great. Now, after explaining you this, how the pin numbers are changing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Now, please understand, you can see that one of the way I can refer to this is by this number. Like this is 1 number, this is 2 number, this is 3 number, this is the 4 number, this is 5 number, this is 6 number, this is 7 number, this is 8 number. If I'm referring by this number, I can say that I have to configure my Raspberry Pi board in a board mode. I have to configure in the board mode. And if I'm not doing like this, for example, let's say I have not configured in the board mode, but let's say I have configured in a different way. Then in that case, friends, I am saying that my Raspberry Pi board might be configured in the BCM mode. Right? So there are 2 modes possible in which you can configure. Now you may have a question here, why these are the 2 modes? It really depends on you, how you are convenienced. Whether you are if you are calling this pin by this number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have to refer to a board mode. And if you are referring a pin number like this, you have to refer to the BCM. Right? And each pin has a name. So in the BCM, for example, this pin I can refer to as a GPI of 14. Right? This pin I can refer to as a GPI of 18. Right? This pin is GPI of 4. Right? This pin is also referred to as a GPI of, for example, it also has some number. This is GPI of 14. For example, this pin is GPIO 14. इसका दूसरा नाम है GPIO 14, like this, right? And you have some ground terminal also. So it depends whether if you are referring by this name like GPIO 17, GPIO 27, GPIO 22, GPIO 5, GPIO 6. If I want to connect some device on this pin number by this name, in my programming I want to use this name, then I have to set my board into the BCM mode. But let's say rather than writing this GPIO 5, I want to write this, I am referring this name 29, then my Raspberry Pi board could be in the board mode. So I can set my board into two different modes, board and the BCM. You can see there are many 5-volt pins available, there are many ground pins also available, right? So this is how you need to understand this Raspberry Pi board, right? I will show you the demo also, don't worry, right? So this pin, please remember, this is pin का दूसरा नाम है GPIO 14, GPIO 14, right? 8 नंबर वाला है, एंड आपका 6 नंबर वाला कौन सा है? ग्राउंड. एंड तो यहाँ से मैं अगर आउटर साइड से काउंट करूँ तो 6 नंबर वाला कहाँ आएगा? फर्स्ट, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड. और ये GPIO 14 कहाँ आएगा? 8, फोर्थ नंबर यहाँ से ऊपर से, राइट? So that is how you need to understand. Now let me go ahead. What are the operating system it supports? It supports the Raspbian, Fedora, Ubuntu, OSMC, that is Open Source Media Center, Arch Linux, ARM, Windows 10. Also possible on Raspberry Pi, but you need some kind of software for that. I don't recommend one to utilize the window. Actually, there are some performance glitches there, right? So, but these are very user-friendly OS now. You really don't require to worry. See, basically what I did is I have a router, right? And with that router, I have connected my laptop, so which has this name, client name. And I have connected the Raspberry Pi board with the same wireless router. So obviously what I do is I have to ensure that both my laptop and my Raspberry Pi board, if both are in the same network, then and then I can access it by an IP, right? Otherwise you need to find out some tool like SSH or Telnet, you can use it for a remote login. But again, you need to know an IP address, right? So just to make our task simple, this is how you can use at your home also. So that is the reason I'm trying to explain you in that context. So let's say these two machines are in my same, connected with the same router. You can see their IP. My machine IP is 192.168.1.128, and you know the other machine IP that is here, that is 192.168.1.129. So that is a Raspberry Pi board. So if I want to get connected, what I need to do is I have an application. So let me go ahead with that. So let me do that. So for example, I have a application called VNC Viewer, right? I hope all of you are aware about this VNC Viewer, right? So I have installed that VNC Viewer and I have this IP. So what I will do is I'm just clicking on that. It will ask me for a username and password. There is no rocket science here. The by default username is the Pi, and the password is Raspberry, RASPPERRRY, Raspberry. Right, so this is the password, and once I do that, it will open up the Raspberry Pi board. Right, I hope you are able to see my Raspberry Pi board screen also. Right, and you can see it open up an interface like this, a very familiar interface that you have, similar to your operating system. Like here, you can press on the start button. You have a lot of accessories. Right, you have a games also, right? These are the different options available, like for programming also, some by default installations will come, right? For a operating system, and there are many things available, and this is the same thing, the way you used to browse your folder, you can browse here, you can open your terminal, right? So up to this point, there is no concern and you are able to see my screen perfectly, right? Okay, great. So now, what I'm doing is, let me go to the terminal. So I'm going here, right? So let me click on the terminal. When I click on the terminal, you can see the terminal in front of you, and this is where I have connected my Raspberry Pi board. So right now, the scenario is that my Raspberry Pi board is connected just with a router via Wi-Fi, and that I'm trying to access. So my laptop screen that is in front of you is working as a monitor for that Raspberry Pi board, and the mouse or the keyboard of my laptops are working as a keyboard for that Raspberry Pi board. So I don't require any external keyboard. I hope you are getting points, right? Then, so basically I have used the VNC viewer to do a remote login onto my Raspberry Pi board, which is on actually. Now there is command. For example, if I type a command here, pin out. I hope friends you are able to see my screen. I don't know whether I can make it out. I hope you are able to see my screen. Okay, and you are able to read it, right? So what I have written here is the pin out. So pin out is the command. When I press enter, you can see here, just a moment, right? Once I press the enter as a pin out command, you can see the output. Just wait. Yeah, there is some delay probably. Just a minute. Stuck. Right, so once you press the pin out, once you type the command, you can see the same pin configuration that I have shown to you. Have you remembered the number that I said here? I said pin number GPIO 14, this one 8. फोर्थ था ना ऊपर से मैंने बताया था कि इसका नाम GPIO 14 है, आप याद रखना. थर्ड था उसका नाम ग्राउंड है, आप याद रखना. So this is the same thing I am showing you. Here you are getting 3.3 volt on pin number 1. Here you are getting 5 volt, 5 volt. This is the ground, right? Like this. So as I said, if you are referring by 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to set your Raspberry Pi board in the board mode. Otherwise, you set into the BCM mode. If you are setting into the BCM mode, you can call the pin by this name. હેલો આપણે જેમ વૈષ્ણવ ધર્મમાં લોકો જે માને છે એમને ખ્યાલ હશે કે ભાઈ અમુક લોકો કૃષ્ણ ભગવાનના નાના સ્વરૂપને પૂજે છે અને અમુક લોકો એમના મોટા સ્વરૂપને પૂજે છે, but the god is same, right? Whether you call it Kanhaiya, Kana, Krishna or Srinathji, I mean all the god are same. Name 8, you have to set your you have to configure your board into the board mode. If you are calling it by GPIO 14, you have to configure into the BCM mode. As simple as that. Is it clear to everyone? Fine. So there is no concern till now, right? Okay, fine. Now let me go ahead. Now what we want to do is, what I do now in this next experiment, I'm connecting, let's say, LED over here. On pin number 6, I am connecting the ground of LED, and on pin number 8, I'm connecting a positive terminal of an LED. I'm connecting a positive terminal of the LED. And this is my GPIO 14. This is my GPIO 14. So मेरे pin का नाम क्या है? GPIO 14. Right. So now let me again go back. Let me go back to my rotational screen. Let me minimize this command prompt if I can. Just a minute. Let me, because of this resolution and the control there and all this thing, I have to stretch like this. So I'm minimizing my command prompt now. Fine. I have written a simple program just for better understanding. So the language that we are using is the Python, right? And you are a great fan of Python nowadays, right? So this is the program that I'm writing in the Python. The first statement, you can see import. This is the standard how we have to use, like the way you use the NumPy or some other inbuilt packages or the library. I'm using rpi.gpio, general purpose input output, as GPIO. उसका नाम रख दिया हमने. Right, you know the meaning of this statement. So this is one of the things that we are importing, and the second one is we have imported the time. Then, as I said, friends, because I want to refer, now please understand, because I want to refer the pin by a pin name like GPIO 14, GPIO 15, GPIO 22. If I want to refer by those names, I have to configure my board into BCM mode. So in order to do that, the command is I have to write GPIO because I have written here GPIO. अगर मैंने यहाँ elephant लिखा होता तो मैं यहाँ लिखता elephant dot. But as I have mentioned GPIO, I have to write GPIO dot set mode. And what is that set mode? GPIO dot BCM. Because I want to refer the pin by that name, right? Now, so my what is the pin number? That fourth pin number, if you have remembered, right? I said that pin number 4, जो top column end से है fourth outside की column में, उसका number था 14. So what I am doing is I am setting up that pin number 14 into an output mode. So GPIO.out, and I am making it high, यानी कि LED on हो जाएगा. अगर वो LED on रहेगा 10 सेकेंड्स तक और उसके बाद मैं उसको क्लीन अप कर देता हूँ. ये क्लीन अप करना इसलिए जरूरी है, नहीं तो आपका ये प्रोग्राम बंद हो जाएगा, फिर भी आपका LED ऑन रहेगा. क्लीन अप का मतलब ये है कि सारी पिन को मैंने रीसेट कर दी. आई रीसेट ऑल द पिन, right? And I am running this program. When I run this program, try to see on the camera. Can you see it? It's yellow now. Can you see it? Yellow light. I don't know whether you are able. Now it has been stopped actually. But पहले ये येलो था. अभी देखिए येलो कलर नहीं है. अभी मैं फिर से उसको रन कर रहा हूँ. Just check it out now. Again, I am making it run. Let me do that. So again, I'm running it, and I'm showing you the camera. Can you see it? This yellow color on. Now it is off, right? So what I did is basically, now let me close this camera wala option, and then let me ask you whether you are able to see it or not. Yes, LED visible. Okay, great. Thank you. So next time I will keep the mobile phone setup and everything ready. But this is how we have done. Now, for example, if I want to do the changes, right? Let's say I want to set another mode. As I said, I can set 2 different modes. So what I need to write here, board. अगर मैं board mode से refer कर रहा हूँ, तो उस pin का नाम क्या हो जाएगा, friends? Let me ask you this question. This is going to be the last question out of my session, and then I will permit you to go. So let's look at this last question. Precisely what I'm trying to say is, suppose मैंने यहाँ लिख दिया pin out, right? And when I say pin out, you can say that इस पिन को हम कौन से नाम से रिफर कर रहे थे? 14, GPIO 14. उसका दूसरा नाम क्या है बोर्ड मोड में? 8. So again, to run the same program, if I'm configuring my this into GPIO, board mode, so I have to write here GPIO board, and in place of 14, what I need to write? Anyone? What I need to write? If I'm writing here board, yes, I have to write here 8. Very good. I have to write here 8. So that is the outcome of the today's session. You understood this 2 different mode, and then in place of 14, I have to write 8. And believe me, I'm honestly telling you, when I'm running this program, again this LED is getting blinked, right? So you can trust my words now, and right, probably you can do this experiment also. So this is the just an introductory session on the Raspberry Pi board. Probably we will be continuing with this few more sessions on the same topic, and thank you for joining on time. If you have any question, I would be available. Otherwise, I will allow you to